I am MS Sudarshan, CGM HSC. On behalf of mrpl, I welcome all present here to the grace test occasion. I feel very happy to deliver the welcome address, and I am excited and feel blessed for the role. Today we are happy to celebrate the World Environment Day, and along with that we would like to sign the MOU with the Forest Department for the project Ecosystem Resolution and Rejuvenation of Kurundur River. And as you are aware, World Environment Day being celebrated throughout the world by millions of people on June 5th every year. And it is commenced in 1973. Now Kanchan told it is 1974. Otherwise it is 50th year. And in this event, all the highlights of the challenges faced due to climate change, global warming, biodiversity loss and pollutions are being addressed today to eye-opener for the entire communities. And this year theme is Beat Plastic Pollution. And for today's function, first of all, I would like to welcome our Managing Director.
ನಾವು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಜೀವ ನೀಡುವ ಹಾಗೂ ಜೀವಪೋಷಕ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆಂದು, ಶಕ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಜಲ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳ ವ್ಯರ್ಥ ಬಳಕೆಯನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆಂದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗಳು, ಕೆಲಸದ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳು ವಿಲೇವಾರಿ ತಡೆಯುವ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯ ಜಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹ ನಾಗರಿಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಸರ ಜಾಗೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಹರಡುತ್ತೇವೆಂದು ಈ ಮೂಲಕ प्रतिज्ञा ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. धन्यवाद.
विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस के अवसर पर हम संकल्प करते हैं कि प्रकृति और उसके जीवनदायिनी और जीवनदायी संसाधनों की रक्षा करेंगे, ऊर्जा और जल संसाधनों को व्यर्थ उपयोग से बचाएंगे, हमारे घरों, कार्य क्षेत्रों और सार्वजनिक स्थानों के आसपास स्वच्छता और स्वच्छ स्थिति बनाए रखेंगे, जल संसाधनों के प्रदूषण को रोकेंगे, पर्यावरण जागरूकता फैलाएंगे. धन्यवाद.
On the occasion of World Environment Day, to protect nature and its life-giving and life-sustaining resources, to avoid wasteful use of energy and water resources, to maintain sanitary and clean conditions around our homes, work areas and public places, to prevent pollution of our precious water resources by preventing careless disposal of waste matter, to spread environmental awareness among our fellow citizens. Thank you.
To all and respected dignitaries on the dais, it's a great honor for me. Actually, consecutively I come for the second year to celebrate World Environment Day. It's a great honor for me. Actually, in fact, first was really great. I felt really great because Tulsi Gowda ma'am has come. It was a felicitation for her, and it was the first time eye-opening for me also. Because she has worked in forest department for 30 years or so. She has won prestigious awards of Indian state. But then I felt really honored, and this is the second honor for forest department as well as individually for me. Can I? Yeah, presentation is here. Yeah, that's good. So first of all, I really thankful to mrpl as such, mrpl fraternity, manager, director manager, sir, Shri Sanjay Verma sir, and our own officer, Ganesh Bhatt sir. He's a mentor for us. He was in the state and he was in Kannada wildlife. We used to emulate him by seeing his the working nature and kind-heartedness. So I am very much thankful to all MRPL fraternity, all MRPL officers over here, to giving us forest officers an opportunity, not only just to participate in such events, but it's a great occasion that we are moving forward to an MOU. Because always MRPL has supported green belt, greenery in the entire Mangalore city. So we have already almost implemented almost 3 to 4 projects under the CSR funding of MRPL. And this is going to be a landmark achievement for the forest department as well as the MRPL. Because this is going to be a very, very challenging, very, very issue oriented and the first time in its kind to Mangalore city itself. Because we know that entire the area where we are trying to target is going to have a lot more impacts, lot more effects also. So that's why by just going through the let me take you to the location as such. The entire area where actually we are proposed to do work is, let me go for just the background of entire area. This area is like a saucer shape. Like the upper reaches is northern part is covered by a Kulai village and Osabettu village in northeast part of it. Then the MRPL, all industrial MRPL MSCs are in the north portion of it, and eastern portion is the Tokuru, Baikampadi, Kenjaru villages. So this is the area where we get a lot of fresh water during the rain season, as well as continue to be flowing for a few months after that rainy season also. But coming towards the southward side is the industrial conglomerates of Baikampadi industrial area. So this area, if you just go back to before 1996, it was just like totally a paddy field, having a drainage basin of Kudumburu Vole. So I enchanted with many of the birds arrival. So then after that 1996, when the KDP has acquired this land for the to cater to the industrial sector. So then the issue started. Issue means as well as the forest as well as the industrial problem started. But then 1996, when the entire area was acquired, the entire paddy fields were reoccupied by mangrove area. So it was a great occasion for the mangrove as well as the great opportunity for the mangroves, as well as the simultaneously the Baikampadi industrial area also flourished. So then one peak, almost 2000, it has reached a peak of industrial area surrounding development as well as the mangrove area. But then the industry's growth was so high, the sewage and effluent released to those areas, since it's a saucer shape, every drainage has to lead to the Kudumburu Vale and surrounding area. So actually it starts from the Baikampadi industrial area as well as the Bagundi lake, which connects to Bagundi lake and it just drives down towards Baikampadi industrial area, then reaches the Gurupura river. So this is the clear picture of our entire area of the project proposal. So towards the north and east, west side, it's a Bagundi lake is there. Then center is the Baikampadi mangrove area, and towards the south east is the Kenjaru wetlands. So you can see it's like a bird. For me, it's a bird. So bird, the body of the bird is what the project today we are actually trying to address. So it's like a bird and having 2 wings, and this is well known for mangrove and as well as the wetland birds. So anybody in mangrove, if can log in, which is the wetland, the bird sighting area, Kenjaru will come up. Kenjaru happens to be one of the best bird sighting area, and people used to enjoy so many birders as to visit there. Almost 200 to 250 birds have been recorded from there. But slowly we are actually losing that title. It's getting back to the bad situations. Similarly is the Baikampadi mangrove area in and around our Kudumburu Vale, which was actually the best breeding ground. As we see, mangrove is one of the, why mangrove? That is a very, very big question. And why MRPL supports mangrove? So actually mangrove has been proven that this is the best ecosystem for all type of environmental disasters. take it for the cyclones or the flooding situations or the erosion problems. This is the best crop that can stand in the saline water, create a forest in a saline water, a standing saline water forest area. Then also it not only does that, it is a very good friend of fisheries people, because it's having a very good necessary ground for the fish breeding activity.
Environment, not for the human beings. Why we have to celebrate Environment Day? Probably, if you can understand the path of development which has happened since last 100 years, you can see the environmental degradation apart from the economic development. At some junction, we have understood that the pollution is getting increased, resources are getting reduced, both in terms of quality and quantity. There is a need to protect the environment, conserve the resources in the interest of, quote, underline, sustainable development. What is that we are talking in terms of sustainable development? We know these resources are not only for our generation, but it also has to be preserved, protected and conserved for the future generations which are going to come on this earth. So there is a need to sensitize the people to understand what is the importance of environment and why we need to conserve and protect this environment for the next generations which are going to come on this earth. This is an occasion where we can really understand the interactions between the different components of the nature. I know it is very difficult to understand the nature's reaction on each and every aspect. But somehow we have to understand the intricacies between the interactions of flora and fauna at a physical status, at least to have sensitization on conservation of resources. I'm sure we are sitting and celebrating Environmental Day, but in the backdrop, nature is doing its own work for the sustenance of people, sustenance of flora, fauna on this earth. Somewhere, trees are absorbing the carbon dioxide, giving out the oxygen. Somewhere, some birds are maintaining the ecological services. Somewhere, the water is flowing, feeding to the flora, fauna. Somewhere, all the interactions are happening which we have failed to understand the nature's intricacies and its capacities. That is why the pollution in the recent past has increased. I always say the pollution is not a component of industrial development and industrial revolution. Why I said this? Because all these years, everybody is targeting the industries and they are saying that pollution is only because of industries. Now, studies have already proved that only total pollution, the industrial contribution, or I should say industrial pollution contribution is only 14%. Is it right to blame industries for polluting the environment? I don't think so. Now, because there are proven studies across the globe.
Executive senior officers from mrpl, my friends from forest department, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, who have all come here for this World Environment Day function. Forgot to mention that Pratikaj from NITJ is also here, a friend of mine. He's a professor, associate professor, I think, in NITJ, but very actively involved in this type of green campaign. First of all, I'm very happy to be part of this function. For the last 20 years since I joined the service, probably I never missed it. One function which is very auspicious and I never miss. And today also, very eagerly I came here at 10 o'clock. Again I came at 11 o'clock. It's very nice that I congratulate the HSC department here who have taken up a good number of activities like outreaching activities, tree planting, creating awareness among the children, the general public. That is the need of the hour, to be frank. Of course, people are aware, but it's never-ending process. It has to be repeated every now and then. I also congratulate the
school students who are there in the back with wonderful projects. Wonderful project. I think I also congratulate the student from Govindas College, Surat, which is self-explanatory. To be frank, I have nothing to speak from this podium. Those projects of the young minds and this kit from these college students, it is self-explanatory. I thought of giving few messages, but already it is being delivered by the people, the students. Nevertheless, I won't take much time. We are celebrating this festival, this day for the last 50 years. This is the 50th year or 51st year, 73 onwards we are doing it. Every year we have one theme. The main objective of this day is to create awareness. Quite successful over the years. I will not argue at this moment who is the actual culprit. Not the right place, because I am also part of the industry now. Earlier I was in the other side, now I am very much part of the industry. I have to justify my role. But there are two things, but ultimately the human beings are affected. The world is polluted everywhere. And every person is fed up with this thing. To be frank, however clean you are, however good life we are leading, but it is we are really affected. We have to do something at this juncture to overcome the problems we are facing today. Many things we do not see. What the chimney from MRPL chimney, then what is going out, we do not know. We are not bothered much. But ultimately the plastic, the theme of this year, get rid of this plastic, that is affecting us. Wherever you see, wherever you go, it's plastic. I joined this company some 6 months back, and daily I think 2 liters of water we drink in our office, 1 liter at least. So I used to consume 4 bottles of this. I stopped it from the very next day only. And 6 months, daily 4 bottles, how many? You have to calculate. So that much you can also do. Anybody in MRPL who is not familiar with this or not using, just one person, everyone is using. We can easily replace. It's the civic sense, it's the common sense. No officer from the environment side or industry side or government side, they will come and pressurize us, come and tell us to bring down the this pollution. It is the common sense. See, everybody can contribute towards reducing these problems. Problem is everybody's problem, it is not individual problem. We may think that we are using cleaner water and throwing it to dustbin, ultimately it goes and settles somewhere in the water bodies or somewhere in the landfill. It will not vanish. Or people will burn. So very new trend has come up. Other day I was going to Mudvidre. These panchayat people, they were all cleaning the roadsides. Right from here, some Surinje village, beyond that. They were all cleaning while going. I left this place around 11 o'clock. They were all cleaning, some 100 odd people. And evening while I was returning, they were all burning it. So if it is the measure we adopt to tackle the pollution, I think it will not solve. Best thing is you refuse it, don't use it. So all these our friends, our students, they all use only 3 R's. That is reuse, recycle, reduce, reuse, reuse and recycle. But there is one more, that is the refuse. You refuse first. If it's unavoidable, then only you go for reducing the consumption. That's the one thing, very common thing. Everybody out here, be it the students, be it our mrpl people, be it the forest department people, we can really adapt, we can do away with this one in our day-to-day life. It is the actual major problem for all people.